Good evening, Soraya. Good evening, nice to have you here. Good evening, Nakodai. Good evening, Mr. Millionaire. Good evening, Sober Carol. Good evening, good evening. Let me know where you're joining from tonight. Welcome to Soul Clinic with the Soul Doctor. The Lord is mighty. Good evening, Blessing. Good evening. Let me know where you are connecting from tonight. Good evening. He is my peace when sorrow meets Jehovah sees. Okay, Sugar Carol connecting from Florida, Blessing from Lagos. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Thank you all so much for connecting tonight. It's another episode of Soul Clinic with the Soul Doctor. You're very welcome. Thank you for connecting. Kindly share the link, share the live, share the live. We are live on YouTube, on TikTok, and on Instagram once again tonight. Yes, thank you all. Thank you for connecting. TikTokers, I see you. Awesome. Thank you all. Thank you, YouTubers. Thank you, Instagram. Welcome to another beautiful episode of Soul Clinic with the Soul Doctor. And my name is Jola-Grace Emmanuel. A certified transformational life coach. And I love to say that I am passionate about helping you heal, grow, and thrive. So we started to talk about reconnecting with purpose. I said finding purpose, or we changed that. So reconnecting with purpose after trauma. You better believe that you've got value and your world is waiting for you to deliver that value. So I see you, Olamomi. Good evening. I see you, Pearl. Thank you so much for connecting tonight. It's awesome to hear tonight. Ankara Rak, good evening. You're very welcome. Thank you all so much for connecting. Let me know where you guys are joining me from tonight. Let me know where you are joining from. I'm right here in the United Kingdom. Awesome. In the East Midlands, United Kingdom. Thank you so much for connecting. And we're going to be continuing our conversation tonight. Again, like we love to do, if you have a question, please use the question icon to ask your questions. You can type it in the comment section, but it's very likely we might miss it. So it's better you use the comments section. I think on YouTube, you can just put it in the comments, and same thing on TikTok. Okay, so Ankara is joining from the United Kingdom. Awesome. Good. Pearl is joining from South Sudan. Wow. Thank you so much for connecting. That's really phenomenal. Thank you so much for connecting tonight. So let's get into it. Like I said, we started to say that you carry value, right, regardless of the kind of past that you have been in. So I work with individuals, I work with organizations, I coach, I do therapy for them. And one thing I tell my clients, one-on-one clients, when I take them through a trauma coaching is that, listen, right, healing itself is not the end, right? So yes, you need to heal. Man is a tripartite being. You have a spirit, you have a soul, and you live in a body. So when you experience any kind of negative event in your life, right, it causes a wounding or say an injury inside your soul. And the same way if you have an injury or a wound, right, in your physical body, you go to the clinic, you go and see your doctor. It's the same way so that you can heal, right? So for instance, if you get your hand, you have an injury in your hand, and that stops you from doing what you would not, right? Because because you don't want to be handicapped. Well, I would say handicapped, right? So if, for instance, you have to drive, right? For instance, and because your hand is hurting, you're like, okay, I can't drive because my hand hurts me, right? You're not going to just sit down at home and be feeling sorry for yourself, saying, oh, my hand is hurting me. Hey, I see gospel vibes. Thank you so much for connecting. Thank you for the roses, the heart. Very welcome. Ayo, hi, I see you. Thank you for connecting. So you're not going to say, oh, I'm just going to sit at home and feel sorry for myself because my hand is hurting, my hand is paining me, right? And then I'm going to leave everything else that I should be doing, I will leave them undone. No, I would want to go and get that hand checked. I want to go and get it treated. Maybe they have to do an x-ray. Why is it hurting me? Is it bleeding? Can we see the wound? Whatever it is, I'm going to do everything I can in my power to make sure that my hand gets treated, right? And my hand heals. Why? So that I can carry on doing the things I do normally. I can drive, I can cook, I can clean, I can do the things I would do normally when my hand is whole. So it's the same thing with your soul, right? A few weeks ago, October was the Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and we looked at what trauma does to your brain, how it affects different areas of your brain, how it shrinks your hippocampus. We looked at how all the things that trauma does to you, how it destabilizes you, how it affects your productivity and your functionality, right? And so we've said all of that because it's like you functioning normally in the physical, you will still struggle. Excessive tiredness, lack of interest in doing things, right? And one of the things, hi, I see you all. Let me just take a moment. Or Gem 2011, good evening. Priye, hi, good evening. Sister Shola, hi, good evening. At Seng Owa, hi, good evening. Thank you so much for connecting us. This is Soul Clinic with the Soul Doctor, talking about reconnecting with purpose after trauma. And Mary, you're very welcome. Thank you so much for connecting. So you see, healing is not a means to an end. So I said to them, listen, you need to heal. So there are three phases. Heal. Let's get that wound treated because that wound is stopping you from doing the things that you're supposed to do. A wound gets you stuck. Whether it's a physical wound or an emotional wound, it gets you stuck because you can't move. You can't function the way you will function normally. And it's not okay to just be there. Okay, well, let me just be there, at least. And sometimes I need Holy Spirit help me to say this right. Sometimes we justify our, good evening, okay. No, sorry, a message came in, but I didn't say it. Good evening, Mary. Thanks for being here. Sometimes we justify our being stuck in the place of our wounding, right? I talked about the guy so I'm a person of faith, so I will refer to the Bible and take some illustrations from the Bible. So sometimes the guy can just say that's the guy at the pool of Bethsaida, but is that, oh my goodness, okay, yeah, whatever, you know what I'm talking about, the guy that was there for 38 years. He could have just laid down there and say, oh, at least I'm alive. When we use gratitude to cover up some things, right? Use gratitude to cover up lack of productivity, lack of efficiency, and say, at least I'm alive now. At least I'm here. So we just say, at least I'm grateful that the guy could have just been sat at that pool and keep saying, oh, at least I'm alive. I'm better off than the people that are dead. I'm here. At least I'm eating. I'm having food to eat, even though it's not a lot, but at least I'm eating. And then he could have. But no, guy, you're not supposed to be lying there at the pool of Bethsaida. You're supposed to be healed because there are things you're supposed to be doing. Heal because you carry value. It's one of my favorite quotes. Heal because you carry value. T loved, I see you. Gloria Kelechi, good evening. Bim Pie. Oh, Bim Pie. Okay, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Good evening. Billy McDonald, hi, good evening. Thank you so much for connecting. Heal because you carry value, right? Now, before we were formed in our mother's womb, our manufacturer already knew us. So you see, the late Miles Monroe said something, where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. Where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. What is abuse? You know, sometimes when we hear abuse, you're like, okay, somebody's beating somebody, somebody's slapping somebody, or somebody's calling somebody names, or psychological. Not necessarily. Abuse is simply abnormal use. It's not that deep. You know, like the Gen Zs is, even though they might not, because they're always changing their sayings. Afro hair care, good evening. It's not that deep. What is abuse? Very simple. Abnormal use. Right? So, this is my pen. Somebody saw this pen. I was like, why is your pen like this? I'm like, well, leave me. That's, I like things like that. So, this is my pen. You know, it's very fluffy, you know. So, this is a pen, right? The manufacturer of this pen created the pen for me to what? Write in a book. Now, if I looked at this pen and I'm like, I need something to remove the meat from my teeth, right? I need a toothpick. There's no toothpick. Let me just start using this pen to pick my teeth. What am I doing? I'm abusing the pen. Because it was not designed to pick the residue from my teeth. Abuse. So, did you hear the word design there? When your manufacturer was going to manufacture you, he had a design in his head. He had a need. There was a reason. Is there not a cause? That was what David said to Eliab when he went to the field. And he knew that there was a cause. He knew that there was a reason. He knew that there was a purpose for him being there. And this was his older brother trying to distract him from fulfilling his purpose. Said, bro, there's a reason. He gets why. He gets why. I'm not just here for being just here sake. Excuse me, my brothers and sisters. Can I let you know that your life has a purpose? Oh, but Kojola, you don't get it. I've suffered though. You don't know what I've been through. This thing. And my goodness, oh Father in heaven, I've just been praying, you know, in the last few weeks because of the kind of messages I've received following the campaign we did last month, you know, breaking the silence on abuse. Honestly, you guys need to pray for me because sometimes when I read these messages, my heart just shatters into pieces. That what? Things are happening, right? And I understand. I'm going to be dropping some videos. Okay, guy, I need to now start hitting things. I need to be hitting some things. Well, and you know, I need to speak to people who are in that situation or who might be getting to that situation, because see, you cannot change anybody. I don't want to take this conversation outside of what we're talking about, but I still have to talk about this. Tosin Joseph, I see you. Bosun, hi, I see you. Thank you so much for connecting. You will not change anybody, because you see, I began to see a pattern, right? In stories of abuse, there's a pattern. Because listen, nobody can abuse you without your permission. And yes, you might not consciously give that permission. A lot of times the permission is given subconsciously, which is why we need to keep breaking the silence and educating and informing so that you can know what it looks like when you see it. And say, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to tolerate this. I'm not going to hope that, oh, it will change. This thing will change. Because listen, you are not a transformer. You're not the Holy Spirit. Right? And let me just also drop this. Tonight, I will just move as we are led, right? Mickey, Harry, hi, good evening. The Heart Matters, good evening. We have to go there, right? We have to go there. Listen, Auntie. So I want to talk to the ladies a little bit. Uncle, Auntie, from the ladies, sis, I got you. But listen, sis, you are not that man's mother. You are his wife. Yeah? You're his wife. So because you see, sometimes we're the one that put fire inside that thing and let it be burning. This has bad behavior. I have to, hello, hi. Therefore shall a man leave his father and mother and be cleaved to his wife, and the two shall become one. Ephesians, we read it. I really don't want to get distracted tonight, but the place that I'm just being directed to. So since we're talking about purpose, right? I think I'll go there. We're talking about purpose, reclaiming your purpose. Bumi, I see you. Silva, I see you. Tommy, I see you. Tammy, I see you. Wilson, I see you. Thank you all so much for connecting tonight. So we're talking about purpose, and one of the things that I first of all said is where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable, right? And you can help me to be typing the phrases so that we can pin them as well, and people who are joining can see from time to time. So we'll do that as well. You're very welcome, CC. Hi, good evening. So let us quickly take a detour, right? And check what is the purpose of a man and a woman in a marriage. And for me, I said to people, I said, listen, I was still having a conversation with somebody the other day. I was saying, in the UK, this is the way they do this. And I said, is there a different Bible for the people in the UK and the people outside of the UK? Is God giving you a different yardstick? Excuse me? The word of God is the word of God. And when it comes to marriage, there is an order. There's an order. Yes, you might have had a negative experience in the past, right? You might have grown up in a toxic environment, but there is an order, and the order is the order for the man and the woman in the institution of marriage. Yes, where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. Now listen, let's quickly look at this. Okay, okay, that's not what I'm looking for. 1 second. I'll read that. She's in Ephesians chapter 5. Ephesians chapter 5, right? Ephesians chapter 5, where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. And the truth is, maybe by the time we finish today, some of us will say that we've been abusing people around us. Or we've been abusing things. We've just been, you two, you are a perpetrator. You need to go and repent. What have you been abusing? Or who have you been abusing? Right. So, like I said, so now I've jumped to my book where we're teaching from here. That's from pain to purpose. But I quickly jumped here because I want to read something quickly towards there. Now, Miles Monroe, and I've already said that earlier on, that where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. People find themselves in one form of abusive relationship or the other because they don't know the purpose of those relationships in their lives. They don't know the purpose of those relationships. So you see, every relationship in your life must be defined. Every relationship. Every relationship. You must know what the role of this person in my life, and you must also know your own role in people that are around you's life. You must know, what is my role in this person's life? You know, for those of us who are empaths, and empaths, don't worry, your book is coming. They're empaths. I'm writing a letter to you, so you know the letter is long, but it's coming. For those of us who are empaths, we seem to have what we call savior mentality. We think that we are the savior of the world, and everybody's problem is your problem. And that gets you into trouble. Right? One of the things that you need to begin to tell yourself as an empath is, you see something, you say, it's none of my business. I know it might sound, can you say that? But it's true. Because as an you just want, and then you wear yourself up. But some things you have to be able to what? Say, that's not my role in this person's life. I remember, years ago when I was still very naive, people would send me messages on social media. Oh, their child just gave birth, and their cat is very sick. They need to go to the hospital. They will write the story. I mean, once I read that story, my heart will just go all out. I'll be like, oh, I need to send money to this person. I need to help. And one day, someone sent me one of those messages. And I remember that, there was one of my mentees who was doing something along that line, and I said, oh, okay, this person, I mean, what my mentee is doing, he can help. And I forwarded the message to him and I said, oh, look, this person sent a message on Instagram, blah, blah, blah. And he laughed and laughed. I said, Mama, I said, why are you laughing? He was just laughing. He said, they've scoped you. I said, what do you mean? He said, don't you know the scope? That this is what they do, that if you check, somebody will use another account to send the same story to you later on. That is the scope. And I said, where is this person's parent? Where is this person's friend? And then I was like, it's true. I don't even know the person. What? All the people in their life, there's none of them that can do what they are asking for. So I was like, it's true. So you see, right? And we have a foundation. With that foundation, we have structures in place. You need help from us, you will feel fun. We will check you out. Right? Because you have to understand that the resources that you have must be managed judiciously. We are talking about purpose. Naomi, I see you. Ajayi.1, good evening. Thank you all so much for connecting. DCI Trendy, Taja Shinwari, hi, good evening. Thank you so much for joining. Now, let's simplify it, right? If you are hired as an administrator, and this one, I'm going to hit some people right here because it's very common, right? In Africa. If you're hired as an administrator, for instance, but your boss consistently assigns you personal errands, such as buying food and cooking for them, it means you are not being utilized for your intended goal. So you're an administrator and your boss says, Susie, go to Mama Puts down there, go and buy me rice and stew and beans and everything. And then, please go to Kidiko Market, go and help my daughter buy some shoes and what was I hired for? Like I said, I don't know. It means you're not being utilized for your intended role. This constitutes an abuse of authority and a misalignment of your job responsibilities. Now, let's go to Ephesians. What is the purpose of a child in the parents' lives? What is the purpose of a wife? Because you see, now in Western world, right, they've made a law that you're not allowed to hit your child, because if you hit you, and how did we get there? Because some people will now argue that, oh, but the Bible says that. Now, rod, right, is the rod is like an analogy, right? That's not the right word I'm looking for, but it represents discipline. It necessarily doesn't mean carry something and beat the child, because you better know that. I was saying to someone the other day, I said, okay, your child is doing this, is doing that, and you've done this, you've changed. And I said, you need to find out what the child likes, because we're talking about discipline and correction. I remember back in the day when we were in secondary school, and maybe some of you were like that, right? And okay, I'm not trying to say I'm a good girl or anything, but it didn't happen to me, but it happened to my friends when they, disobey. And because back then, I schooled in Africa, the teachers are allowed to cane you. So, and they had these things that they call pankere. How many of you know pankere? So, but you see, some of these students have already mastered the art of, okay, is it just giving me some strokes of the cane? So they will just come, they just do like this. They are ready. Teacher will go back, and then they'll just they'll just dust themselves and then they'll walk off. Like, seriously, it's like, what you didn't do nothing to me. I'm gonna go and do the same thing again tomorrow. So you've not corrected that person, right? So now, by the time the law was, because I've also seen it where people say they are correcting a child and they're actually injuring that child. If you beat a child and there are scars, there are marks on the body of that child, you are abusing the child. What is the purpose of a child in your life? Some don't know. It's to nurture, to train. So a lot of people are even abusing their children and they don't know, because you're not fulfilling your role in their life as a parent. Let's move on. What is the purpose of a husband in the life of his wife? So I'm going to read from the Message translation, Ephesians 5:21-23. Out of respect for Christ, be courteously reverent to one another. So he's saying, the two of you be courteously reverent to one another, okay? Husband, be reverent. Wife, be reverent. Wives, understand and support your husbands in ways that shows your support for Christ. So you see, I've heard of stories of wives who honor and bow down for their pastor, but they disrespect their husbands. I don't want to get into trouble, but let's go there. There's nowhere that says bow down for your pastor and disrespect your husband. He's saying support your husband in ways that shows your support for Christ. Now, husband, the husband provides leadership to his wife the way Christ does to the church. This is the order of God. This is the Bible. Not by domineering, right? But by what? Cherishing. I'm the head. Doesn't matter, I'm the head. I'm the head. You have to respect me this. You have to do whatever I say. It's not by domineering, but by what? Cherishing. Cherishing. So just as the church submits to Christ, as it exercises such leadership. My wife is not respectful. She doesn't submit to me. Are you exercising such leadership that Christ is talking about, that Paul is talking about here? Wives should likewise submit to their husbands. And then it goes on and on and on and on and on like that. We are talking about purpose and abuse. Because where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. So let's go back to us as individuals. Before you were formed in your mother's womb, God knew you. He ordained you. He gave you an assignment, a special purpose unique to you. And life happened. Life happened. You were traumatized. You were raped. You were abused. You lost business. You lost someone. Something happened to you that affected the very being, your very being. And that's your pain is valid. Your emotions are valid. Your experience is valid. It is. And I say to people, heal, heal, heal. Give yourself permission to heal. Allow yourself to go through grief process. Grieving doesn't mean you lost a human being. It can also mean the loss of a marriage, the loss of a relationship, the loss of a business that you lost. It's the same process of grieving. However, refuse to stay stuck in that situation. That's what we're talking about. Because of that assignment. Imagine you send, someone, maybe your child or someone, you send them on an errand. Oh, take this money, go and buy something for me. And as they're going on the road, right, their leg hit a stone mistakenly and they fall. Now, if they fall and they're crying, and the child stays there, and what's the time? Why is the child not coming? What's going on? You start to get worried. The child now comes back to you and say, well, I fell down. Well, let me see, where is it? Here. So what about the thing? I said, I don't want to go again. But we've put plaster on this for you. You can still go. You're probably not going to be happy with that child. So yes, it's time to fall down. Sorry, let's put plaster. But still go and do what I asked you to do, because now you are better. There is assignment on your life. There is a calling. And I'm using the word calling. Don't think I'm not a pastor. No. That's not what it means. You can be called to different of life, the different mountains. Where somewhere that you are called to, and we'll go through that in this series, right? As we're talking about reconnecting with purpose. I'm just still laying foundation. Beatrice, I see you. Kwaku, I see you. Elsina, I see you. Thanks so much for connecting. Tomiwa, hi. Tolu, hi. Sena, good evening. Sparkle, hi, good evening. Thank you all so much for connecting. So let's move on, right, tonight as we continue with this conversation. Now, pain. So now back to from pain to purpose. Pain is a positive indicator for growth and development. Most of the time, we shy away from pain. We deny it and refuse to associate with it. Pain shows that something is not right somewhere and needs attention. When the right attention is given, it can birth newness. So that's why I said you have to be in tune with your experience. Don't deny your experience. Don't tell your experience. Don't tell yourself that it doesn't really matter. That thing didn't really happen to me. It happened, right? And there's a reason why it even happened. I said this the other day. I said, look, what happened to you, right, happened for you so that you can fulfill your purpose. I love that. I'll say that again. What happened to you happened for you so that you can fulfill your purpose. Let's get that written down, pinned as well. What happened to you happened for you so that you can fulfill your purpose. If you don't see your experience like that, you will self-sabotage. Why would this all happen to me? At least I tried. And I've been there. This God, why me? Why would you allow this to happen to me? After everything I've done, I've prayed. Why is my prayer? What happened to you happened for you so that you can fulfill your purpose. Absolutely. Now, I'm not doing what I'm doing because of what happened to me. Oh, what happened to me led me to my purpose. Or what happened to me? So maybe I'm supposed to be an accountant, right? But because of what happened to me, I'm now a life coach. No. I've always supposed to be a life coach from the very beginning. But what happened to, yeah, absolutely. What happened to you happened for you so that you can fulfill your purpose. Go and ask Joseph. Go and ask David. Go and ask them. Go, see, pain is a process towards purpose. That's another one. Your pain is processing you for purpose. Let's continue reading. What is your relationship with pain? What is the relationship with pain? I know the trauma has caused you a lot of pain. I know. But how are you choosing to interpret it? Because interpretation is so important. The same thing can happen to two different people and they interpret it in two different ways and they get two different results. How are you interpreting what happened to you? Is the pain stagnating you? Is it causing you good relationships? Are you projecting your pain to other people? Something, oh my goodness, we just so many nuggets tonight. Stop hurting people because you are in pain. Yeah. I know what happened to you is not nice. It's not fair. Like we say, it shouldn't have happened. But stop hurting innocent people because of your pain. Stop it. Because some people say, it's not, it what happened to me. I didn't really mean it. Stop it. Take responsibility. Stop it. How people say, guys have hurt me. The next guy I date like this, I will show him pepper. I'm just waiting for the next guy that will come and ask me out. I will say yes, but I will show him pepper. What guys are done? Stop it. Stop it. Yeah. Stop it. Stop it. Stop hurting people because of your pain. Heal. Take responsibility for your healing. Yeah, I understand. I understand that you are hurt. I understand that it's not fair. I understand that they did that to you, but you see, there's something. Okay, we'll just keep dropping it. You have no control over what other people do to you. So you have no control over other people's actions or inactions, because sometimes you have expectations, they are valid, but they don't do it. You only have actions and your reactions to their actions. So that person hurt you. It was out of your control. But how I respond and how I relate to other people is totally 100% within my control. And I've seen people just use their pain to be nasty to other people. Come on, come on, come on, no. Because one thing you don't realize that we are all human beings. And as human beings, you have a spirit, you have a soul, and you have a body. And your soul consists of your will, your mind, and your emotions. So we all have emotions. You're not the only one with emotions. No. So when you project your pain, when you use your pain to hurt somebody, you are also hurting that person you are hurting has emotions and they feel hurt. They feel the hurt. So heal. Please take responsibility and heal. I've seen people use other people as emotional crutches. You know what a crutch is? So if you're struggling to walk, they can give you a crutch or they'll take a crutch and where's my crutches? Where are my crutches? Using other people as emotional crutches. No, don't you go and again, empaths. Can we pause a little bit, right? Stop being emotional crutches for people because they will hurt you. They will hurt you. You are not called to, you are not a healer. Even doctors will say, how did you say it? We treat, God heals. Is that what they say? They say something like that. They ascribe the healing to God, and we just treat you, is God that heals you. So why do you think that, I know this person is hurting, let me just have them in my life, let them be my friend, or let me be dating them, let me be doing this one, I will heal them? No, you cannot heal them. They need to take responsibility. And I know it's hard. And that is why we have experts who can help you through the journey. By the grace of God, by the grace of God, by the grace of God, not by power, not by my might. God has helped me to and hold a lot of people to heal. I've seen people broken. For their first session, they are totally broken. And months later, they're on their feet again. Yeah, that's one of the greatest fulfillments that I have. See people heal. And you have it inside of you. Okay, we care, but God heals. Yeah. You have it inside of you. The tools are there. The facilities are there. Right? And sometimes we don't understand because emotional wounds are not tangible. You can't see it. We don't understand how deep it affects us and why we need to invest into it. There's something I say to people. Stop investing in looking good alone. Invest in being good as well. Imagine we can scan your soul, scan your emotions. What are we going to see? Sometimes okay, well, I live in the countryside. So I live in Lincolnshire, the countryside. And there's a lot of country road, before I get to my house. And in this kind of weather, oh my God, there was a day I was going and I was counting it. There was at least about 7 dead deers on the road. I mean, if you live in the UK and you've seen that, even my cousin was telling me about Canada and all of that. Deers, massive. I was still driving today and one pheasant came in front of me and I'm like, guy, leave the road. I don't want to kill you. But you see lots of dead birds on the road, dead animals on the road and sometimes, right? Because there's an agency but if they don't, sometimes maybe you're taking a walk or something, you can begin to smell the rotten dead animal. You're like, wow, there's a dead animal there. Especially when there are like lots of them on the road. If we scan your heart, what's going to be the state? So you see, your Gucci and your Prada and your Louboutin, right? It's not going to treat the stench or the state or the pain or the wound in your heart. It's not going to take it away. It's not going to take it away. Told me since I live in the UK. Yes, you see that honestly, and once it's dark, like you have to just really have to be careful. And the deers can actually damage your car. I've seen that. Oh my goodness, I've seen. There was one of my colleagues one time like that. Like the deer. This was so funny. Let me quickly share it. It was like, oh, I was driving to work, and it goes to that work this morning. I was so grumpy. What's with you? And I was like, oh, I got hit by a deer. I'm like, what do you mean you got hit by a deer? You mean you hit it? They said, no, 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 no. I got hit by a deer. And I'm like, what happened? So I was just going, and the deer came out at me with he said with his family, they were in a group, and of course his car hit the deer. The deer fell down, and his screen, what's it called now? His headlights broke. And he said, I was there saying to myself, oh my goodness, I've killed a deer. And he said the next minute, the deer got up, looked at me, laughed, and they ran inside the forest. True life story. I said to myself, oh dear, the deer hit you. Honestly, yeah, absolutely. But you see, yes, stop investing. Yeah, it's been that. Stop investing in looking good alone. Invest in being good as well. And here, see, here, I say to people that whatever your greatest asset is your mind. And what you invest inside your mind is there forever. They can steal your pen. They can steal your wristwatch. They can steal your phone. They can steal your car. You can. But that's why you will see when billionaires, maybe they make a bad move, a bad investment, they lose money. They are not depressed and they'll go and hang themselves. No, because how did they make that billion? It's here. The thing they used to make it is there, so they can make it again. Invest in your mind. Invest in your soul. And so that reminds me, if you have not registered for Unburden 2.0, we have now locked the discount because, like we said, for us, right, the prosperity of your soul is what matters to us. So we usually would bring this kind of product to you at a very affordable, so that at least you have somewhere. You can't say, I can't do one-on-one, but you can attend Unburden, right? So Unburden, Heal Your Childhood and Adulthood Wounds is happening on the night, this Sunday, the night of November. We're in November, the best month of the year. Yes. So night of November, Unburden 2.0. Somebody can help me type that as well. Unburden 2.0, night of November, Heal Your Adulthood and Childhood Wounds. And that's been logged is $12.99. So go and register for that. It's usually a hands-on masterclass. 2 hours, we help you, we do some assessments, we help you unburden, begin the treatment for those wounds that you have carried on your inside. Because listen, and I've seen this happen with people. They come and make inquiry. Oh, this happened to me. I want to do coaching, and then you tell them the price, and then they run away, and then they come back a year later, and their situation is worse because time does not heal wounds. Time does not heal wounds. Think about a physical wound. And you say, it's okay, let me just hide it. I'll just need to buy big clothes to hide this wound. Nobody will see it. I'll just be going about like this. I'll be fine. Do you think that wound will get healed like that? No, it probably will get worse. It will start decaying, start smelling. So treat the wound. The fact that you are wounded is not an indictment on your ability, on your capability, or your person. I've used Serena Williams as an example so many times. God forbid if she was on a court and she hurts her hand or something, right? Link in bio. And she hurts her hand, right? So Tommy, please help me add link in bio to that. You see, if I go and play her go and have a match with her, I will win, right? Because she probably will not even be able to take her hand and do anything because her hand is wounded. Does that mean she's not a good tennis player? Does that mean she's even not the greatest of all time? She is. She's the best. Why did she lose that match? Because she's wounded. Some of you are losing in the game of life, not because you don't have what it takes, not because you are not gifted, not because you are not intelligent, but because you are wounded. And you need to heal. It's all in your hands. Look at your hands. I know that this is not a physical class, but look at your hands and say, my healing is in my hands. It's here in my hands. It's in my hands. Make the decision to heal. Make the decisions to heal. Oh, okay. Here we go again. Yeah, that's fine. I'm sorry. Right. So I've just been told to give 3 people 100% scholarship to onboarding. 3 people. You know how we do. It's like once I hear, I follow. Even though it's like, ouch, but it's okay. It's okay. So listen very carefully. This is the instruction, right? For the 3 people. You're going to send an email. Please don't DM, because DM might not be picked up until maybe the event is over. So don't DM, email. The email address is hello at, thank you. Oops. Email address is hello at coachjolagrace.com. Hello at coachjolagrace.com. Right? So listen very carefully. Hello at coachjolagrace.com. The subject will be application to attend. Yes, it's an application. Application to attend onboarding 2.0. Right? And then tell us in that email why you need that masterclass. Okay? So I'll repeat that again. Email address is hello, HELLO, at coachjolagrace.com. Address. The title will be application, subject, application to attend onboarding 2.0. Like I said, happening on the 9th. Okay, and then tell us in the body of the email why you need to attend that class. If you can afford it, please don't come and get it for free, because you are doing yourself a disfavor. Right? Leave it for those who genuinely cannot afford it. In fact, some of you should sponsor people. You should sponsor people, because the best gift you can give other people is something you invest, is whatever you invest into their mind. That is why you will see our parents really treasured education. Some of you probably was your experience. Oh, my mother had to sell her wrapper to send me to school. She had to sell her gold. She has to sell this. Why? Because she knew that education is the most important thing in your life. That if you have that thing in your head, you are made for life. Education. And this is what this is. Education. Right? So, if you were, okay, awesome. Thank you. So let me put that there for a minute. Okay, I'll put that there. Oops. Felix, I see you. Thanks so much for connecting. Iyanolua, thank you for connecting. Awesome. Umar, I see you on TikTok. Thank you for connecting. Abid S. Malik, thank you for connecting. Camilla, thank you for connecting. Steve Omotaya, good evening. Thank you so much for connecting. Awesome, right? So if you have not registered for that, go and register. It's happening this Sunday. It's virtual. You can join us from anywhere you are in the world. And I'm challenging you to sponsor somebody. You know somebody around you that need it. Sponsor that person. It's only $12.99. I was even saying to someone the other day that if you love KFC like I do, the KFC prices, that probably maybe gets you a burger or a meal, or something. So just imagine that compared to the importance of somebody else's soul, right? 2 misses are registered. Fabulous. So there are people around you that that this the way this person does, and I know this person went through this. I know that person. This is where to start from on your healing journey. I'm looking for the time. Oh my goodness. Okay. We'll just flow. We have the whole month to talk about purpose reconnecting with your purpose after trauma. Now, listen, if we don't handle and manage our pain properly, it will ruin us rather than raise us. What currency? Pound sterling, 12.99 pound sterling, gospel, right? 12.99 pounds, right? This book, it says, from pain to purpose. From pain to purpose. That means that your pain is supposed to build you up. For mothers, those who have had children here, right? You see, when you are in labor, and I was sharing with someone the other day that sometimes when you take a picture, right, you don't know. So when you are in labor, each contraction is supposed to what? Make you push. They will say, once you feel the contraction, push. 13 years ago. No, 13K, you're all. Excuse me, pardon me. I just went back to the labor ward right now. 16 years ago, yeah. Yeah, 16 years ago, 16, yeah. They will tell you, when you feel you might not be able to relate with us, we can just try and explain to you, but so when you feel the contraction, and each contraction is painful, it's as if, oh my God, I can't do this again. But that pain is for you to push. So sometimes, as hard as the pain comes, like, oh my God, it's the same energy that you used to push, and then boom, the baby comes out. So there is purpose in your pain. How are you choosing to interpret your pain? Is the pain stagnating you? Is it costing you good relationships? Are you projecting your pain to other people? Now, if you don't handle and manage our pain properly, it will ruin us rather than raise us. Emotional pain is complex and deep, and it is a normal human experience. So I also need to say that. I'm feeling pain, my emotions. Maybe I'm not a Christian again. No. It's a normal human experience. As long as you're a human being, you have emotions, right? And your emotions will get hurt. You get hurt. Do you think that, I don't know if I can get this, it was on my phone, I'm using my phone. But I was listening to the Bible today, and it was where Jesus Christ was arrested, and it was being, paraded in front of the Pontius Pilate and all of that. And I think it was the part where Pontius was asking him, so are you the Christ? Are you this? Are you that? And he didn't answer. And he said, why are you not answering me? Don't you know that I have the power to set you free? And he was like, no, you don't have any power. This is the power that. And I was like, you are good, don't worry, you don't even have, I don't know how much you use. But he now says something about I can't remember the exact phrase that he used. He says something about the person that betrayed me. I don't want to start looking for that so I don't get distracted. But he says something about maybe woe to the person that betrayed me or something like that. That tells me that, it actually hurt him emotionally that Judas betrayed him. Sometimes we think that Jesus, because he's God, he didn't feel anything. No. This guy ate with him, slept, he was in the same house with him, was around him, they worked together, yet he still had the guts to betray him with a kiss. It hurts him. It hurts him. So I was like, Pontus, don't worry. You don't worry yourself. But the guy that betrayed me, You know how you talk about people who hurt you? Maybe you're talking about something else, and someone will say, and then you don't know how the conversation goes from the thing you are talking about to the person that did something to you 25 years ago. Because it's still hurting your emotions. And it's normal. It's normal. So emotional pain is complex and deep. It is a normal human experience. Remember, we are a tripartite being. You have a spirit, you have a soul, and you live in a body. And emotional pain can be just as debilitating as physical pain. Yeah. Emotional pain. Sorry, TikTok is asking me to do something. Drag. God. Okay. It's saying, sorry, just give me a second. My oh, I don't know this TikTok. What's going on with TikTok? Okay. Thank God. Okay, TikTokers, I'm back. Simi Ward, hi. Oniland, hi. Good to have you. Thank you so much for connecting. So, emotional pain can be just as debilitating as physical pain, and sometimes we don't understand the depth of emotional pain. Emotional pain is a natural response to psychological distress, trauma, or loss, and can manifest in various forms such as grief, anxiety, depression, heartbreak. Emotional pain is a subjective experience, right? It's unique to each individual. We can experience the same kind of trauma and have different levels of pain, just like the contraction, labor pain is different. It's different. You can say, okay, but it's different. We all feel it differently, right? Because we all have different pain thresholds. So don't compare your emotional healing journey with anybody else's. Because I was like, that person, this one happened to me, and then they're already fine. No. We don't feel pain the same way. So don't compare your healing journey to somebody else's own. You might say, but I have clients, right, who have been with me for a while. And they know that, they don't say, won't this Coach Jola be tired of me? No, I'm not tired of you until you start winning, until you are healed and you start winning. We move from therapy, we move to coaching. You have to win. You have to deliver your value because you got value on your inside. And by the grace of God, with all humility, sometimes I say to them, I said, listen, right? I'm not better than you, right? I've had a similar experience to yours. But if God can help me to heal, if I can put in the work to heal, and what are the things that God is doing through me today? I'm like, I was listening to a song today, Miracles. I don't know how. I don't know how I got here. I'm like, what's going on? How? Next week, Saturday, my 15th of November, I shared that earlier on my birthday, we are going to be unfolding Jola-Grace Academy. How did I get there? How did I get there? Me is the same person that I felt I had no value. I wanted to kill. I attempted suicide when I was in a traumatic relationship. After I came out of it, I had clinical depression. This same me. How? Written 5 books on the 6th one. How? Helping so many people all across the world to heal. How? Is that thing that God has put on my inside, He has also put yours on your inside. And please don't envy me. Don't say, wow, I wish I could be like that. You can actually be you. No, don't look like me, because nobody can be like me. Right? I am me, Jola-Grace Emmanuel. But you, right? You can shine as well, because you've got your shine on your inside. You just need to arise. And arise means heal. Just to heal. Stop sitting down in that place like the guy, 38 years at the pool of Bethsaida, and say, nobody to help me. Get up, baby. Get up, babe. Let's do this. You can do this. I like to push people towards their purpose. I like to just push them. Sometimes, I even in therapy session with my clients, and I just switch to business and executive coaching now. Because once you mention something like this to me, I say, you want to do that? Oh, yeah. What do you need to do it? Let's set the goals. I will hold you accountable. You have to do this. Because there's so much you will not believe. There's so much on your inside that your world is waiting for so much. So much. This evening, I was just praying and I was just thinking about 2026, because it's my golden jubilee. And I was like, okay, God, where are we going? And then He began to just show me some things. And I'm like, wow, okay. I've not even scratched. I've not scratched. And you got it as well. You know, there are some people whose life will not be complete except you step into your purpose. Yes, Tommy. Thank you, Jesus. There are some people whose life will not be fulfilled except you step into your purpose and start working in purpose. You have to start working in purpose. If your wound is still very sore, that's fine. Please sign up. I do one-on-one coaching and therapy. If your wound is still very sore, or you feel that you are not there yet, you still need to heal, sign up. Sign up, right? Let's help you heal. But once you are healed, it's not time to sit down and be drinking coffee. It's time to get back on the court and start winning and start pursuing your purpose, because you carry purpose. Right? So no painful experience is a waste. No painful experience is without purpose. Sometimes people mask their pain with different things: work, career, advancement, substance abuse, addictions. But listen, masking your pain doesn't make the pain go away. When you encounter any trigger, negative emotions are elicited and the pain resurfaces all over again. So you see, sometimes you think that I'm all right. And honestly, I've seen this practically. I've seen people come, hey, Dr. David, good evening. Jerome, good evening. Hani, Dan, good evening. Tom, Tosh, hi, good evening. Thank you all so much for joining. I've seen people come and say, okay, I'm working on myself, I'll be okay. And they're back. Just do it. Stop procrastinating your healing. Just do it. Invest in yourself. That's the best gift you can give to yourself, because the trauma happened to you. But healing is a gift you give yourself, right? Listen, triggers will always be around us, and we cannot avoid them. I talked about triggers the other day. We need to acknowledge the negative emotions and the pain of trauma and choose to heal from it. As long as you are in this world, there will be triggers. I don't want to go back to what I've shared before about when, my children were not with me, and I will go out, I will see children, I'll start crying, I will run back home, I will refuse to leave the house because I'm like, I don't want to see any child. Is that even possible? Like, not possible. So I had to deal with my pain, because there will always be triggers in the world, right? We cannot avoid them. We need to acknowledge the negative emotions and the pain of the trauma and choose to heal from it. Okay, let me just see. Our time is up. Okay, we'll pick up from here next time. Let me end here. We'll pick up from here next time. Okay, listen, you carry value. There's value on your inside, and your world is waiting for you to start manifesting, to start deploying. And it doesn't matter what has happened, what you think you might have lost. Not lost everything. You have not lost everything. I remember I had one of my mentors, back then, when I felt I don't have anything to offer. And, my mentor would keep telling me, you have, go on Instagram, put something out, do this, do that. I didn't believe in myself, but I had somebody who believed in me. I believe in you. And I want to handhold you. I want to help you to push out. I want to be your midwife, to push out that greatness that is on your inside. Because your assignment is unique to you, and nobody can do it the way you can do it. Thank you all so much for connecting tonight. This is Soul Clinic with the Soul Doctor. We are live every Tuesday and Thursday evening, 8 p.m. UK time, 9 p.m. Nigerian time. I think that's about 3 p.m. or so EST. We're live on 3 different platforms: TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And you can always watch the replay on any of these platforms. I'm so glad that you've joined me tonight, and I'm looking forward to as many of you as possible to join us for Unburden. Let me see if I can share that real quick, but I think I can only do this on Instagram. Just quickly look at the details. Unburden 2.0, heal your childhood and adulthood wounds. And that's happening this Sunday, the 9th of November 2025. November being the best month of the year. I say so myself, because it is my birth month. Yes, 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 yes. Where is this flyer? Yes, it's happening. Okay, I can't find the flyer. Okay, there we go. So, Onboarding with the Soul Doctor, it is 120 minutes masterclass that will help you to heal, the hidden wounds of your childhood and adulthood trauma and begin the healing process so that you can fulfill your original purpose, right? That's happening virtually. Like I said, we've locked that discount for you. Register yourself, right? Register for someone, people around you who need this masterclass. Hey, Pastor Shola, good evening, ma. Register for them. Be a blessing. Invest in your mind. Invest in your soul. Don't just invest in looking good. Also invest in being good, because being good actually will make you look good. Right, so that's happening this Sunday, right, virtually Sunday evening. It's happening 7 p.m. Nigeria, 6 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. EST. Once you register, you get automatically added to community as well, so that you can get a lot more information. And on my birthday, the 15th of November, something interesting is happening. Okay, it is called The Journey, right? The Journey, where we're going to be unfolding Jola-Grace Academy, and also, right, our first product at Jola-Grace Affirmation Shop is ready, right? So we're also going to be launching that. So we have a lot to look forward to. We're going to be launching our first product. The Affirmation Shop is just a platform that, we put together different products, right, that has different affirmations that can be in your space that can help you feel good about yourself. People have been asking me about this forever, and finally we decide to start working towards it. But we have our first product. We're going to be launching it on that day. I'm really excited and looking forward to seeing everybody, as many as possible, at Unburden with the Soul Doctor this Sunday. Until I come your way next time, that will be next week, Tuesday, precisely the 11th of November. On this same platform, remember that you are beautiful, you are enough, you carry value, and your world is waiting for you to shine. Have a good evening, everyone, and a beautiful weekend. Bye, all.